You know how some stories just stick with you? I mean, long after the credits have rolled, there's that one image or just a feeling that you can't shake. We usually chalk it up to the hero, right? Or maybe some huge plot twist. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a storyteller's secret. And trust me, it might just change the way you watch movies forever.
All right, let's try something. I want you to think of your favorite movie. Go on, pick one you absolutely love. You got it? Okay, now, what's the very first thing that pops into your head when you think about it? What's the one thing that for you is that movie? So what'd you come up with? Was it the music? You know, that epic score that gives you chills? Or maybe it was a famous line of dialogue, one you and your friends quote all the time. For a lot of us, it's probably the main character. But what if it's none of those? What if the most memorable thing is just a single object?
And that brings us right to our main topic, memorable objects in movies. You know the ones I'm talking about, those props that are so wrapped up in the story, you just can't imagine one without the other.
I mean, just think about it for a second. A single prop, if it's chosen perfectly, can have the same weight, the same symbolic power as the movie's title. It becomes this visual shorthand for the entire story. It's like the story's logo, in a way.
So what is this thing? Well, there's actually a really cool name for it. It's called the prop's shadow. Let's get into what that really means. This is such a great way to think about it. Imagine a single object casting this huge shadow, a shadow that stretches over the entire story. That's the idea here. One little prop can totally influence everything from beginning to end.
So here's the definition, boiled down. The prop shadow is this idea that in pretty much every great story, there's one single prop, a symbol that represents the whole narrative. We're not talking about just any old object lying around. No, this is the story's soul, something you can literally see and touch. Okay, so why is this so effective? Well, it's because this one little prop is doing two major things at once. It's working on us, the audience, in two different ways.
So, what are those two jobs? First, it's a key. It's the thing that helps us get the story's bigger context and what it's all about. But then there's the second part, which is a little sneakier. It also works as a subconscious anchor. It keeps popping up, sometimes in really subtle ways, to keep us totally glued to the story, completely immersed.
And you want a perfect example of this? Think about the spinning top in Inception. Now that movie is, well, it's complicated, right? So many layers. But that little top, it's our key. It's a simple, physical object that helps us understand the biggest question of the whole film. What's real and what's a dream? It literally unlocks the entire puzzle for us. All right, so let's flip the script and look at this from the writer's point of view. Because this stuff doesn't just happen by magic. Choosing that one special object is one of the biggest, most important decisions a storyteller has to make.
And this isn't just a suggestion, it's crucial. The quote here says it all. This has to be handled in the initial planning stage. We're talking day one stuff. It's not something you just sprinkle in later. It's foundational.
So why so early? Why all the pressure? It's because the prop and the story's core message are basically the same thing. They're totally linked. The writer has to pick the one object that perfectly expresses the theme. It becomes the delivery system for the whole point of the story.
And when a writer nails this, when it all comes together, the result is this incredible power to stamp the story right onto our brains.
So let's just recap why this whole props shadow thing works so incredibly well. For us, the audience, it takes a big, maybe complicated idea and makes it super intuitive and easy to swallow. And for the writer, it's just a crazy efficient way to make sure their theme doesn't just get understood, it gets remembered, it leaves a mark. So here's what I want you to do. The next time you're watching a movie, be on the lookout. Search for that one prop, casting its shadow over everything. And hey, if you're a storyteller yourself, this is the big takeaway. Don't just think about your plot. Think about the object. Find the one thing that is your story. So I'll leave you with this. What's the prop that's going to cast a shadow over your story?